Hi, everyone. My name is Robert Watkins. I'm the Mount Beautiful CEO in New Zealand and also CEO of our import company, Mount Beautiful USA. Um, I was asked to put together a brief, short, I think they emphasize short, recap of harvest and kind of what's going on in the marketplace as we can't get out and see you folks. And I'll get to that. But before that, I just want to have a reach out for all of you and hope that you're all safe, healthy, your family and those near and dear to you are coping with this worldwide phenomena that we've all had to contend with. Crazy times out there. And also just a special reach out for our on-premise partners, both on the restaurant side and distributor on-premise sales teams. Hopefully this thing will sort itself out over the next couple months, and you guys can get back to work, start making money again, and we can all go back to enjoying those magical experiences in restaurants that we're all craving about now. So again, we're with you. We appreciate it. And also for retail, thank God for that channel. Otherwise, we'd be all in a kind of really serious situation. So again, let's hope to see you guys in better days here shortly. So back to harvest. Harvest was a bit of a different one for us for a couple of reasons. One of them obviously is trying to do a harvest during a global pandemic. So we did struggle a little bit with that. The full quarantine lockdown in New Zealand was quite early, and so it happened about 5 days prior to the start of harvest. For me, I was actually at the airport, headed to New Zealand to help manage harvest as usual, and I realized that I would land 6 hours after the quarantine was put in place. So I canceled my flight for a couple reasons. One, I didn't want to risk, catching COVID-19 in the multiple airports and bring it into our small community. And I certainly didn't want to spend 2 weeks in the house during harvest with everything that's going on around me. So anyway, canceled my flight. Managed harvest from over here, basically using Zoom, which we've all gotten quite used to, and just phone calls. But the crew over there did fine. It also affected the kind of the mood at harvest. So normally it's kind of a hard work, Mount Beautiful, we tend to work hard and play hard, as some of you may know of an experience, but this harvest was a little bit more somber. So the idea was to get in as quickly as possible, as safely as possible for everybody involved, and also with an eye towards quality as always. Kind of different. So the other aspect that was a bit unusual or made even harder by the situation over there was from a quality standpoint, I think we're all in agreement, preliminary, that this could be our best harvest from a quality standpoint overall. So we're quite excited about that. The other thing that usually happens when you have a high quality vintage, typically the yields are lower, but that wasn't the case for us this year. We brought in our biggest harvest to date. So we brought in 610 tons. So for those of you who want to do the math on that, you can multiply it out to get the potential bottling yields, but every variety has its own juice yield when it gets into the vineyard, or into the winery. So at the top end, you have Sauvignon Blanc, which for us is about 680 to 720 liters per ton. And at the lower end, you have Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, which can be about 620 or even lower, maybe 600 sometimes, depending on berry size and weight, that particular vintage. So at 600, but the average is about 660. So use 660. So 610 tons times 660 is 402,600 liters. So you divide that by 9.1, you'll get 44, roughly 44,000 cases. And so those of you who've been working with us for a while know we don't necessarily bottle 44,000 cases in our Mount Beautiful. But what we do is, so we have multiple channels. So we try to keep as much separate as possible. And then when we start to build the blends, we put them together with an eye for Mount Beautiful first. And then we look at kind of what else is left. And we have various channels for that. We would either put it into a second label, or we would put it into a private label, or we have quite a high demand for our bulk fruit. So we always have a home for it. So here's just a picture of us putting together last year's Sauvignon Blanc blend. You can see the samples kind of in the background. So quite a few different lots to choose from. So standing around left to right is Simon, our new general manager, hired this past year. Finn Grieve, our viticulturist, Jared, our on-site winemaker, Sam Weaver, our head winemaker, and have been with us since day one, and myself. And so what we're doing here is trying to put together a blend that would be a typical blend for Mount Beautiful house style. Our Sauvignon Blanc is fairly unique. So we want to make sure we are consistent in that house style, but we also want to take in any nuances from that particular vintage. So we do, probably 4 or 5 different times we do this blend until we finally get to the one that we're happy with, and then I have to look at it to see if it's in the early days. It was easy to make too much. The blend was too large, and as we were growing, we didn't want to have excess inventory in the marketplace necessarily. Now it's kind of the opposite. We want to make sure we have enough product in the marketplace. So if I need 18,000 cases of Sauvignon Blanc and the best blend is 15, we have to really concentrate on how much that level changes between the 15 and 18. And is it an acceptable compromise between quality and quantity? So we're constantly doing that. The Pinot Noir is a little bit harder because obviously with Pinot Noir you're blending barrels. So we have a lot more choices that we have to make when we get to the Pinot blends, and we tend to need more choices as far as quantity. So if I want to make 3,000 cases of Pinot Noir, I'll need about 5,000 cases worth of juice in the winery to make those decisions. And then we can put together, a really good Mount Beautiful blend, and then I'll put the excess Pinot that we didn't use into our second label, or private label, same kind of channels. We have pretty high demand for our bulk wine, so it's and we get pretty good money for it. So it's not a major. So we can comfortably make the blend that we want with Mount Beautiful without compromising on the financial side. Here's just a quick picture of the red cellar. So in the forefront there, you have the yellow 20-pound totes that the Pinot Noir is hand-picked into. This is brought down to the winery, and then it goes, and then behind those totes are fermenters. So these are open-top 9-ton fermenters, and we have they're all 9 tons, and I think we have 9 of those. So and then in one corner we have a 12-ton. So that's our current capacity. And the next shot here is just the sorting table. So the wine would come in, it would be dumped on the shaker table just before this table, and that gets off some of the big debris, and then it goes to the sorting table, where we'll pick out bird pick, we'll take out mixed ripened clusters, any kind of funk that's on a cluster, and then it'll go up the elevator there and be put into our crusher destemmer, which will then, we don't crush, we just destem. So we do whole berry fermentation, and I think I have a quick video to show that. So you see him dumping so he's dumping the 20-pound tote onto the shaker table, and the crew there is then sorting. Whole berry into the fermentation tank. So that's basically the quick just shot at the Pinot Noir. So again, hopefully you enjoyed the quick presentation on what we were doing for this harvest. I have a couple shots of the vineyard that may be of interest. Here's a quick overhead aerial of the entire vintage. So on the left vineyard, so on the left-hand side is mostly Sauvignon Blanc. You cross over the chasm, and most of that is the Pinot Noir. And this is a quick shot of, sorry, I lost it. So this is an overall map of the property. You can see the vineyard kind of in the middle there, and surrounding it in the white outline, kind of looks a bit like Texas, is our sheep and beef farm. So that's the just kind of the overall footprint there. And the top is the Waiau River, which then flows into the ocean. So again, I hope that was not too long. Probably was. I hope it was mildly interesting. If so, we'll do some more. And again, stay safe out there. Look forward to seeing you back in the marketplace. Any questions or comments, just reach out for us. Other than that, thanks a lot. Peace.